Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are getting into the first bourbon hunt of the season. But before we get into that, please do me that favor, like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us out a ton, and we seriously appreciate the support. But let's get into today's video. So today, like I said, we are getting into the first bourbon hunt of the season. And with the bourbon hunting season in full swing, that means we're seeing a lot of new limited releases. We're seeing a lot of bottles being released. So that means it's giving me an opportunity to hunt down some new, fun, cool limited. So I strapped on my bourbon hunting shoes and I kind of set off into the distance. So today I'm giving you guys a list of my most recent bourbon hunt finds. But before we get into that, a word from today's sponsor. We all know from time to time on this YouTube channel, I can drink a little bit too much. You can also probably drink a little bit too much, and it kind of makes going to work the next day a little bit more difficult. That's why when I go hard in the paint, I rely on ZBiotics. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut, where you need it most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol. Drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. This Halloween season, make sure to pair those cool, fun, fall-themed cocktails with ZBiotics. Go to zbiotics.com/tipsy or click on the QR code down there below to get 15% off your first order when you use the code TIPSY at checkout. You can also sign up for your subscription using that code as well, so you can stay prepared for whatever comes your way. ZBiotics is also 100% money back guaranteed, so for whatever reason you were not satisfied, ZBiotics will refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to go to zbiotics.com/tipsy and use the code TIPSY at checkout to receive 15% off your first order. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. All right, let's get into full swing with this video, starting off with the hitters, the hitter bottles. I'm going to start off first because I'm most excited about these ones. Four Roses, single barrel, private select, cash strength. You have no idea how long I've been wanting and trying to get one of these on my hands. I know this isn't one of those like limited edition bottles from 2023 per se. This is just a barrel pick. It's just an everyday Four Roses cash strength barrel pick. But golly, I've had about half of a pour out of this because I'm saving this for a more in-depth review for one, as well as a, more special occasion than just the night I happenstance fell on top of the bottle. But this is a cash strength Four Roses single barrel offering. This is 55.1% ABV, which is my favorite. It is a 9-year and 10 months, so almost 10-year-old, 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley with an OESK selection, or I think that's the yeast strand they use. I don't know. The Four Roses single barrels kind of confuse the heck out of me, but this is a total wine pick that I just happenstance to fall upon for I think like 120 or so, and man, oh man, it's pretty freaking good. That because again, I break the rules compared to a lot of other whiskey YouTubers, and I go off of Whiskey of the Year for me is going to have private barrels, barrel picks that I got in that year, that came out in that year. So that has potential to be one of the best bottles of the year. I mean, a lot of the bottles on this list do. I'm excited for the end of the year blind, if we're being completely honest. And after that one, another one that I think is going to do incredibly well. Little Book. I'm going to take off that so it doesn't keep on glaring, y'all. Chapter 7, 2023. I haven't reviewed this whiskey. I don't think I will because it came out like a month and a half ago, but I happened to find one of these and I got it for like $120 as well. Just like that, Four Roses single barrel pick, which is a pretty good steal for a bottle like this. These are typically going around $150 nowadays, and I got this for $120 at my local Total Wine as well. And I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I like it a lot. I haven't put it up against anything else, and again, like I said, I'm probably not planning on reviewing it, but it did open it up at the distillery the other day and kind of showed it off to some other people on the day I bought it, and the people I shared it with really, really liked it. I really, really liked it. So I'm excited to kind of see how well it does in the end of the year blind. This will be the first bottle of that like Beam, whatever Booker's type thing that I think might actually be worth the money. And speaking of brands that I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth with, but a bottle that turned it around for me, Larceny Barrel Proof B523. So you've probably seen this. I've already done a review of this bad boy. I love this bottle. This is so good. This is a larceny to defend the honor of all larcenies. This is the best larceny I've ever had, or probably ever will have if we're being honest. This is their B523 batch. It is 124.4 proof, and this is like baking spices galore. This is fall in a glass, and that weed profile really softens it up too. So even though it is heavy baking spices, it's not overwhelmingly heavy baking spices either. Like, it's really well put together, really, really enjoyable, which is super redeeming because the other one I have is straight up horrible. And then after that one that I've been kind of holding off on buying a bottle of for probably about 1.5 years, 2 years since they started releasing them. But I finally found one for a really, really good price point, and I just had to pull the trigger. Angel's Envy's Private Select Barrels. This is pretty freaking good. Like, I really, really enjoy this. I think this is going to do pretty well in the end of the year blind as well. But this is just an Angel Envy barrel pick. That is super annoying. I am taking that off for this. This is an Angel Envy's just barrel pick. 110 proof Angel's Envy. I happened to get this bottle for like $65. So that's the reason I pulled the trigger, because I was teetering in between, like, is it worth it? Because typically these are around $100 or so. And at $100, I just haven't pulled the trigger because I'm like, I've tried some port. You know, I've had Angel's Envy. I do really, really like it. I've tried some port finish bourbons before, because this is basically just a Kentucky bourbon that they finish in port barrels. It's good, but it's not anything. They're not rewriting the book, not doing anything super exciting or crazy or fun or super limited. But, you know, I was like, really like 110 proof bourbon. I like finished bourbon. I really like bourbon. That is like my freaking jam. And this it checks all the boxes of things I really like, but I was apprehensive of buying one at $100 for the longest time. I got for like $65, so such a great freaking steal. Absolutely enjoy the heck out of that bottle, especially for that price. I still don't know if I would pay for that specific single barrel $100, but maybe like $80, maybe. I don't know. It's still pretty good, and I'm excited to see where it does in the end of the year blind. And then moving on, Maker's Mark French Oak Stave Finishing Maker's 46. This is a bottle I have already owned for the longest time. I have loved Maker's Mark, but I just recently found out that they are batching these SOBs now. They are doing batches of them, so I wanted to get one to compare. I do really, really enjoy these Maker's Mark Stay Finishing 46 profiles, and I really, really like the fact that they're now doing batches. I don't love the, fact that it's a screw top, but the branding looks good. Really enjoy these bottles. If you really like spicier weeded bourbons, this is my jam for those. Nothing checks the box of a spicy weeded bourbon, in my opinion, more than, the Maker's Mark Stay Finishing 46 profile. Like, the profile 46, that French oak is just, it's incredible. It's such a good bottle. And then last, but definitely not least, moving away from bourbon, just the one bottle, I promise. I swear to God, just the one bottle that's not bourbon on this bourbon list. Barrel Whiskey Vatted Malt. I got this one for a ridiculous steal. That's the main / only reason I purchased this bottle, is because it's a freaking steal. These are basically, they're sourcing all sorts of single malts from around, the U.S., Arizona, Tennessee. Here, let me just read off them. New York, Texas, Indiana, New Mexico, Washington, and Arizona. So they're sourcing a bunch of different things from places that you don't typically see people sourcing from, which again, I really like that. I really, really like that. And there's actually some Arizona born juice in here, which I'm an Arizona guy. I really like Arizona stuff, so I love that about this. But basically, this is, a blend of, just like Barrel does with their bourbon, this is a blend of American single malts at high proof. If you are an American single malt as much as I am, you're not going to find a cask strength single malt for under like $100 on average. At a minimum, you're paying at least $90 to $100. I got this bad boy for $55 because it was on sale at Total Wine. I've had the previous batch before, this is a 2021 batch. I've had the 2019 batch before, and I both really, really like them. I like this one better. But that is a wrap for today's video. Please do me that favor. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about this video, as well as what have you been hunting recently. Also, expect probably another few videos like this in the chamber, because I'm doing a lot more hunting. So we're going to start talking about hunting a little bit more, because I'm getting a little bit more back into it. But that's neither here nor there. Also, check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Patreon. Links for all that stuff are down there below as well. That is a wrap for today's video. Thank you guys for getting to this part of the video, as well as for watching us. We will see you later. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.